Hello, people on the internet. This is me, Crazy Monkey Dude, sending back in with yet another review. And today we're going to do the fourth installment of Barraki Week, and it's going to be obviously on the Warlord of Mantax. Uh, and story-wise for Mantax, Mantax was one of the leaders of the King. Was one of the leaders in the League of Six Kingdoms. He had a big territory around. He fell over, and he got sent to the pit a while back. And he's also very skulky and seclusive as well. He's very secretive, and that even carries out even when he was in the pit. He was very much to himself. Um, and that's basically really all you got to say for just Mantax and his. Oh, he also has a bunch of poison spikes all over him, so he's got a couple up here and here. Whatever. We'll get that in the review. And that's pretty much it. Let's get to the review. Now that the fact that I've gone over a little bit of the story. I'm going to start off like we always do with the feet. He's got standard articulation, the 3 points of articulation in his legs, and he is already different. As Mantax, the original one, used the Vaki limb piece instead of the Metru limb. This is really just because I wanted to make him a little bit taller, and I could have used the Vaki limb if I really wanted to, or even like the Barraki limbs, but I just opted to use these because I think these are the ones I had on standby anyway. So nothing really much has changed here. We'll go to the arms. We'll go to the torso a little bit. Arms are also, this one is at the very least, they're both different. This one's different in the fact that it doesn't use a Metru arm piece here. It uses just the Vaki arm, which should be here. And this one also carries the squid launcher here. And they have, of course, the seaweed, or whatever this is supposed to be. And it's also shorter than it's supposed to be as well. It's supposed to be about as long as this, but I thought just so that it could kind of be a little bit better proportioned, it would be like that. And he has red dots on him. I use the same technique I used with why can't I freaking remember the name? It's Kalma. And honestly, I could have used black, but I mean I used red instead. Just so I can add color. The other arm is it's basically exactly the same, except for the fact that it has a Barraki limb on this side, and has his claws, and they can move in and out and roundabout, and all that stuff. He's got, again, relatively the same articulation on either side, except just for the fact that this is a little bit more restricted going up and down. Also on the bottom here, he has a red piece underneath here, and I was supposed to put another seaweed piece, but I couldn't find another one in black, so that's all right. Now we're going to actually go onto the head. Again, I'm saving that torso for last. The head, same thing, mounted on the single ball joint. It's just 1 point, and you have the mandibles that you can squeeze, so, whatever. And then we're going to turn him around, and now we can actually get to the torso, and this is the one thing that I actually was really happy with. So the original Mantax used a Vaki pelvic piece and a Rakshi back connector thing that all wound up here into this technic connection up here with the torso. And because of that, it really just kept him at the same kind of weird hunchback. Actually, Mantax is one of the very few ones that can actually just pull down. Just pull down Mantax. So here's the original Mantax. Here's what I'm talking about. He's very dusty. Here's the original Mantax. As you can see, that's what I was talking about. He uses this kind of weird, very spindly connection. And yeah, he uses this really weird again, the Barraki connection with the Bionicle torso, the Vaki neck, or Vaki pelvis. Let me go put him back up. Go. He's back up there on the shelf. So back up on the shelf. There we go. Now this guy, I used a different technique because I didn't really like that connection, so I wanted to make it different. And I did that by making this big technic glob down here in his pelvis here, and also attaching an armor piece on the back and attaching two Hordika necks onto it and a foot on top to kind of cover it all up. And you can go all the way up. It kind of moves this a little bit, but I mean, it's generally fine. It's not terribly stretching apart, but it makes him be able to like stand up straight. So you can make him do this, or you can make him skulk down, and he actually go quite far. Like he can hunch over about that far. Like he has a very differing range of. I mean, it really wants to sit like this because then without you kind of have to go over that technic piece. But again, it's not too strenuous on the part. It doesn't really move it all too much. It just kind of detaches it a little bit. And his tail as well. He still has his tail, and it's a basic tail. But yeah, that's it. His torso was really good. I was really proud of the torso because it actually fleshed it out and it gave him the articulation that most of the Barraki didn't have, including him. The only Barraki I think that actually had it was Pridak, and yeah, that was it. That was just Pridak. Pridak was the only one with like waist articulation, right? So the mere fact I was actually able to even give him like a basic crunch. He can't turn side to side, but I don't think he needs to, given the fact that again most of them didn't. You can get him up in this weird like L position like this, or you can bring the legs forward and bring his head back like this, and he'd be lunging forward, and it really looks really good when you look at him from the top with like the really big broad shoulders. And you can bring up the legs and you can just kind of see him like that, or again you can bring it down and have like the legs be kind of out like this, and he's got the tail and I was like extra streamlined and he's coming down or whatever. Also, he's supposed to have the black clips up here for the squid, but I don't know why I couldn't find those, but I couldn't, or maybe I just didn't and I just forgot about those. I probably forgot about them, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's really about it for just him. Again, I really was impressed with what I was able to do, and how, again, he looks pretty much the same as the normal Mantax, except he's just a bit more bulked up, and that's, again, why I do this kind of thing. Is just to bulk them up and just to make them look a little bit more fleshed out, and a little bit, just a tad bit more Titan-esque, a bit more imposing like they're supposed to be. Now with the review out of the way, we're going to do with the get on with the size comparison. And instead of actually using Tukua, I have another Batorn around here. There we are. I'll use this guy. There we go. It's the same size, just a different Batorn, just to kind of stylize it a little bit. There we are. Use this Metro Batorn. He scales up to the pelvis when he's kind of like this, and he's even doing this weird like pelvis up thing. If we really want to do this, we can just fully extend him up, and as you can see, he gets way taller. Way taller. Put this guy right here. There we are. Here he is next to a Metro Torn design. Here he is next to a Mari Torn design. One in the back. He, again, also kind of goes up because the Metro and the Mari kind of relatively close in size. Just barely edging each other out. And then we got the Skakti right up here. He's taller than a Skakti like this. But again, you can actually take him, and here, let's get these out of the way so I can actually do this. You take him and scrunch him down, and now look, he's shorter than the Skakti. And that's just cool, because it, like, story-wise, he would bury himself underneath the ground, and it kind of looks like he's buried underneath the ground a little bit more. He's, like, really crumped up to the chest or whatever. I think I did a pretty good job. And he was definitely one of the favorite ones to build. I really liked this build and enjoyed his build, and I'm proud of what I did. But yeah. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did. And yeah, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is Crazy Monkey Dude signing back out. And bye-bye.